So what I learned during the course of the program was definitely kind of two different things. The first one being very crucial in many parts of life, which is most of the time it is about listening, not speaking yourself. And this is especially true when it comes to mentoring. And also why I was a little bit afraid at the beginning that I could not really help my mentees because I did not have these inspirational life lessons learned, which I could share with them. I was so positively surprised how much I could actually help them by asking the right questions and making them reflect on their own experience and then just listen closely. That was the point that really mattered to my mentees and how I could really help them. So I was surprised when I learned this during the course of the module. And then secondly, one thing I also learned about coaching and mentoring was how creative you can be. So during the training we received at the beginning, we talked about different coaching frameworks and different mentoring models. However, over time you learn how to develop your own mentoring style. So over the course of the live mentoring program, I had the chance to kind of mix and interconnect the different frameworks I learned about by focusing on thinking about what can really add the most value to my mentees in this position and when talking about this challenge. And in the end, yeah, I was free to combine and mix them and felt comfortable being adaptable with the frameworks. And this is definitely something I take away from this class. So in order to build a positive and flourishing relationship with a mentee, there are a few principles which really helped me personally while doing the live mentoring program. All of these principles are pretty straightforward, and they're true for a lot of relationships you have, not only the mentee-mentor relationship. And the first advice I would give is really be yourself. Just think about it that way. Why should the mentee open up to you and trust you with their challenges when you cannot open up to them a little bit? While of course you share information on a different level than your team might do, it is still important to show that you're committed and invested into the process. Then the second point I would say is really listen. Sometimes sitting back and listen is the best thing you can do, and your mentee will really appreciate it, and this will create a very positive and trusting mentoring relationship in the end. And the last advice I would give is really reflect on how you lead these sessions and in what kind of directions you guide your mentees. So being self-aware is also really important to have a positive and flourishing relationship with your mentee, because in the end, when you talk about different options about what the mentee can do to overcome the challenge they're facing at the moment, you always have to ask yourself the following question. Am I guiding the mentee towards this certain option because I think it is the most promising option for them personally, or is it the option I would go for? Is it what I would do if I were in their position? And in the end, you always try to kind of help your mentee find their own way, find their own style, find their own solution that works for them. So lastly, to summarize my point, having very reflective routines and knowing what is the best for your mentee is really part of building a positive and flourishing relationship with your mentee. Yeah, if someone would ask me to be a mentor again, I would definitely say yes, 100%. This has been one of the most fulfilling modules I've taken at the business school within the past 3 years I've been studying here. And it is just an amazing feeling to help others grow and to see how much they actually value your commitment and your investment in them. So I also strongly encourage everyone who has an interest in working in a people-focused or maybe team-based environment after uni to choose this module. It really shows you how to bring out the best in people, which do not include your fellow students or colleagues, but also your friends and your family. So it's a very hands-on module, and it really teaches you some life lessons you can follow for the rest of your life. And kind of summarizing what these are is definitely what I learned about mentoring, which is so key in life, is listen. Try to really listen and focus on what the other person is saying, and then try and help them to find the best solution for them. Don't just think about, if I were him, I would do this. Think about what was the best option for him, how does he think, how does he want to work this out, and then really help them reach the best goal for themselves. And then lastly, I also noticed a tremendous development in my own skill sets, which include adaptability and communication, as well as my self-awareness and my leadership skills in general. So if you're interested in improving some of these skills as well, this is definitely the right class for you. And my whole perspective on mentoring and coaching has changed from the kind of sports-driven coaching style, where it's all about motivation, but to really this professional mentoring you can do, and how much you can actually help others by really listening to them and work with them towards a common goal, which helps them grow and develop in their own style.